Welcome back. My next guest has been on with me only one time before. I have with me Brian Riley, and he is an associate attorney at Zanes Law. Welcome to the show. Back to the show, I should say. Today we're going to do something kind of neat. Tell us a little bit about yourself and, what Zanes Law does.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much for having me on the show. We are a personal injury law firm. We handle cases all throughout the state of Arizona, and I am an associate attorney at Zanes Law. Been with the company for a long time. I'm really excited to be here on the show today.
Thank you. Now, I want to talk, first of all, before we get anything out, I want to talk about this book that you have. We're going to open up the lines to the audience. And the book is called Winning Your Personal Injury Case. Now, that doesn't just mean, an auto accident. It could be anything in terms of personal injury. The book was written by Doug Zane, who is the owner of Zanes Law. And what's in the book? Why do people need it?
So the book it's a great book. It's really a short read, but it gives you the key things that you need in order to handle your own personal injury case. Some cases, an attorney such as myself is absolutely required to be there to fight for you and handle the insurance adjusters or handle the defendant's attorney in order to get what you deserve. But other cases, you might actually be better off yourself handling the case. And what we do is we want to fight for people as much as we possibly can. And in some situations, it might be better for you to help your own self. So we give you the resources in this book, 8 easy steps. I believe the book is less than 40 pages, but it gives you the essentials that you need in order to successfully handle your personal injury case and essentially move on with your life.
We're going to open up the lines, and everyone's going to get it. So 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. It's winning your personal injury case, and it's knowing how to handle your own case. So if it's not you, maybe you know somebody that could use this. So give us a call here. We got 30 minutes to do this so everyone can get it. 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Now, you want to check them out because there may be a reason that you do need to call them, and that would be their phone number, which they do free consultations. We'll talk about that. It's 602-999-9999, and you can check them out. It's Zanes Law, ZANES Law.com. They have 2 offices in Tucson and then one right here in Phoenix. Again, it's 602-999-9999, or call in here. Get this book. I think everyone should have it for sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. No, the book is great. And again, it's free. We'll send it right to your door. Call in. If you need it now, great. This will be a great resource for you to use if you're handling your own injury case. You may need it in the future. Here in Phoenix especially, there's lots of accidents every single day.
Car accidents, but also others.
Exactly. Oh yeah, exactly. If you slip and fall in a restaurant or a store, if you suffer from a dog bite, this book really details everything that you need in order to fully handle your own case. It's just a great resource, and it really goes over some of the things that I talked about last week when I was on the show, and some of the things I'll talk about again today. And it's just so yeah, definitely call on in.
So the number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Well, we're talking about accidents here and stuff like that, and the 4th of July is coming up, and you were talking about, you said there's a lot of drunk drivers. We had talked before you come on. Let's talk a little bit about why you wanted to talk about that.
Well, around the holidays, everyone has a cause for celebration, right? And it's very typical around the holidays where we see people who, essentially act irresponsibly, get behind the wheel when they most likely shouldn't have. So with the upcoming weekend, 4th of July, just right around the corner, I just wanted to make sure to talk about a few things. Obviously, if you are going to drink, we would definitely encourage you to get a designated driver, hire a taxi, or possibly use some type of ride-sharing service. But when it comes to drunk drivers, we all know that, one of the reasons why they're dangerous is they cause accidents. And if you are a victim of a drunk driver, we would definitely encourage you to hire an attorney for many and multiple reasons. But the one thing, one of the first ones is typically those accidents are very, very severe, and they cause severe injuries. So we would definitely be here to help you if that, hopefully that doesn't happen to you. But if it does, does, we'll definitely be here.
Now, you can check them out. It's zaneslaw.com. They do free consultations. Their phone number is 602-999-9999. And we've got our lines open here for everyone to get the book that Doug wrote, which is Winning Your Personal Injury Case. And that's knowing how to handle your own. But sometimes you need an attorney. But either way, I think everyone should have it no matter what. Our number here, 602-277-5369. And toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. One of the other things that you had said, too, before we were on the show was that it's not always that you're going to get hit by a car if you're a drunk driver, right?
Oh,
it could be on a boat, and there's a lot of you guys out there right this weekend going out to the water. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, boating accidents, that's another thing that we've definitely already seen a lot of them this summer. Unfortunately, there's been some casualties here in the lakes of Arizona. And when it comes to just regular boating safety, that's something that I would definitely encourage everyone to really just kind of keep in mind while you're out there on the water. Of course, you do have people drinking out there and on the boats, and that's obviously...
Accidents can happen at any time.
And anywhere.
And anywhere,
exactly.
You're right.
So, when you're out there on the boat, we just want to make sure that you're, following these simple safety tips here. And I think I have 7 of them here listed, which is make sure that you have a good life jacket, one that's actually approved by the U.S. Coast Guard, one that will fit you as well. That's also very important. And I reiterate that again in my second point, which is there are no substitutions for that. A life jacket is something that is a common denominator in people who ultimately suffer a fatality on the water. Usually there's not one worn, and it's just a horrible thing to see on the news, or if you're ever unfortunately on the water and see something like that. Exactly. And then also, if you are boating and you're the captain of the boat, make sure that you have a full account of the people who are on your boat. So if you have 7 people on your boat, make sure that you know exactly
Count the heads.
Count the heads, exactly. And then also, don't allow too many people on your boat. If your boat only holds 7 people, it's probably not advisable to have 15. These are things that can easily distract you as the captain. And go ahead.
Go into the book, into the mic.
Oh, I'm sorry. And they can easily distract you as the captain, and they can essentially, it could potentially cause something horrible to happen to somebody, or even to you if you're just distracted. The other things that I wanted to talk about in regards to boating accidents is just make sure that if you are on a boat and you're a passenger on a boat, that you are drinking responsibly. It's very hot out there. People are getting dehydrated easier and easier, and we all know how that can affect us.
Absolutely. Now, we know that there are a lot of times where you need to call a lawyer, and absolutely need to, in certain respects, write the number down. I know we're getting our calls, 602-999-9999. You can call them. They do free consultations. I think everybody should have the number in their phone just in case. So and you can check them out. It's zaneslaw.com. They do have 2 offices in Tucson and then one right here. And really quickly, just before because I want to ask you something really important. Your fees are what?
So our fees are a third, which is a standard fee for a personal injury attorney, and it's all on a contingency fee basis. So you don't pay us unless we win your case, and we essentially bet against ourselves. When you tell us what happened and what happened to you and how you were the victim in whatever situation that happened to you, we bet on ourselves that we can help you out and essentially seek compensation for you.
Now, we also have our lines open here because Doug Zane did write this book called You're Winning Your Personal Injury Case, and that's for some people that we're just you might not need an attorney. So I think everybody should have the book. Again, we've got our lines open here at 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. But there are a lot of times where you do need, and you can find out whether you have a case. I think calling and finding out first is a good idea, which is 602-999-9999, or call in here too and get the book. This is important because I just saw it here and I wanted to bring it up real quickly about Uber drivers and the safety of being in a taxi or a designated driver.
Yes, that's a great question. So rideshare services like Lyft and Uber are very prevalent here in the Valley. And it's important that if you are in an accident, you're asking for the right information very quickly, because as we all know, with those rideshare services, it's a taxi, an Uber, or a Lyft driver. Usually the only time you're actually ever with the person driving the car, have that information, is during that ride. It's very rare that you get the same person again. So it's really important that if you are in an accident, you do obtain that information because it can be easily lost.
And it happens a lot. I know a lot of people that get in accidents with these Uber drivers. It's crazy. So again, we are going to go to a break now. When we come back, we're going to talk further about some of the different things. We've got our lines open here. Everyone's getting the book. It's Winning Your Personal Injury Case. That's knowing how to handle your own case. But a lot of times you really need to call a lawyer, and that's what they're here for. Their number here is 602-999-9999. Call in here for the book at 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. It's zaneslaw.com. Welcome back. We're talking with Ryan Riley. He's an associate attorney at Zanes Law, and accidents happen. All sorts of accidents. We're talking a little bit about the different ones, like a car, and even if you're in an Uber, boating, lots of things can happen, even something like a slip and fall, a dog bite, lots of different things. There's times when you need to call an attorney. I think the best thing is to always call an attorney and find out whether or not you have a case or something that they could use that you could use their assistance, I should say it that way. Their phone number direct, it's area code 602-999-9999. They do free consultations. As a matter of fact, you don't even pay them until they win the case. And then also, you can also check them out on their website. It's zaneslaw.com. But we've got our lines open here, too, for everyone to get the book that Doug Zane wrote, and it's Winning Your Personal Injury Case, which it's a book that how you can handle your own case, because sometimes you don't need an attorney. So I think that's awesome that he wrote that for that. So our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Anyone that has been in an accident of any kind, or if you or you know someone, call us here, get it. 602-277-5369. Okay, we were talking at the break about something about punitive damages. What is that?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And I know earlier on we were talking about drunk drivers, and what punitive damages is essentially it's an additional claim that you may have against somebody who committed a crime in the commission of another negligent act, or causing an accident. So the one that we see all the time is a drunk driver rear-ending somebody, or maybe T-boning somebody in an intersection, causing a really bad accident. And essentially what the punitive damages does is it's your way to inflict more on the defendant, to punish the defendant in order to get more compensation. This is something that I would definitely encourage you to speak with an attorney about, and obviously everything is evaluated on a case-by-case basis, but you definitely, if this happened to you, you definitely want to make sure that you're at least talking with an attorney and considering this if you are attempting to reach a settlement or some type of possible resolution with the person who is responsible.
Their phone number, 602-999-9999. They do free consultations. They have two offices in Tucson, and the other one is right here in Phoenix. You can check them out. It's zaneslaw.com. Call in here and get this book. I think everyone should have it. It's Winning Your Personal Injury Case, just in case you may not need one. The number to call here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. So there's a lot of mistakes that people make when they get into an accident. What are some of the biggest ones?
So as far as mistakes, they happen all the time. And right after an accident, it's such a startling event that people will start to forget to do things that they really need to key in and do. And that's why when I was here on the show last time, I was talking, about how you need to call the police department. Calling an attorney is also a really good idea, so that they can avoid and help you avoid and also help themselves avoid these mistakes in order to preserve your case, to have the strongest case possible. But some of the mistakes that a lot of people make, and I'm going to go through 5 right now. And the first one is downplaying your injuries. You were just rear-ended. You're having some neck pain. Maybe initially you don't feel anything. A couple days go by. Well, it's starting to hurt pretty bad. But you're thinking, I'm tough. I can handle this. I can take this. I don't want to see a doctor because it's expensive. But the truth of the matter is, if you call an attorney, if you call us, we will. If you're really in pain, you need to see a doctor. These injuries can be horrific. They really can. They can be life-altering. So it's really important that you do address your injuries quickly in order to get the best care possible and hopefully avoid any real long-term side effects.
What's the next one?
The next one is failing to call the police. I just talked about it. And getting the information that you need from the other insurer or the other driver who caused the accident is crucial. If you make that mistake early on, you may never locate the responsible party's insurance, and that may essentially, you may lose your case right there. If you can't locate the person who's responsible or the entity who insures that person, it may be very, very difficult for you to ultimately obtain a recovery. The next thing that I did want to talk about, and I went right into the second one, was failing to seek medical care immediately. So if you're downplaying your injuries and you're not going to the doctor immediately, that's also going to affect what you may recover later on. Another one is gathering evidence, taking pictures of your vehicle, taking pictures of the other person's vehicle, taking pictures of any bruising that you may have sustained, any cuts that you may have sustained. These are all things that I would use for you to ultimately obtain a better resolution for you in the end. And if I don't have that material or another attorney doesn't have that material, it's hard to talk about it. It's easier to show it. Mm-hmm. So make sure that you're collecting all evidence, anything that you think, well, I think that would probably help me later on. Make sure that you're taking note of that. And the last thing, which is the biggest one that most people in the Valley and all over the nation make the biggest mistake, is when they talk with that insurance adjuster for the very first time, they're too quick to accept that $500 or $600 the insurance company offers them right away. They went to the hospital and they haven't received the bill from the hospital yet. Maybe it's $10,000, but that $600 sounds really good today. And accepting that money right away, or basically doing a settlement with an insurance adjuster over the phone, at that exact moment, your case is essentially over.
Oh, wow.
And at that time, you can call me, but if that's the case, I'm probably going to be letting you know I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to help you just based on what's already happened. So calling an attorney before you even really talk with an insurance adjuster is definitely my best advice. It can be tricky and it can be tempting to accept cash quickly, but the thing is, and what I was just mentioning before, is sometimes these injuries set in a few days after the accident. Absolutely. And you can be in a lot more pain 3 days after you get that check, and your case might be already over.
And their fees are, you don't pay them until they win your case. Now, their phone number again at 602-999-9999. They do free consultations for you. It's zaneslaw.com. And also, we've got our lines open here for everyone to get the book that Doug Zane wrote, Winning Your Personal Injury Case, because sometimes you can do these things yourself. So you can call in here at 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. I want to get this story out because you talked a little bit about road rage, and there was a terrible, horrific accident that you talked about. So go ahead. I'm going to try and get it all in. Go.
All right. Yeah. So as many of you probably saw on the news, there was a horrible road rage incident. I think it was in either California or Florida just the other day, where cars were flipping down the freeway, and then a motorcycle took off. What I wanted to talk about is, you don't want to get in a road rage situation, and I just want to talk about 7 tips really quick that you can do to avoid that. Normally, you don't want to respond to an aggressive driver. As soon as you start that altercation, it can go on and on. It's already distracting you from what's going on in front of you on the road, and that's definitely dangerous. The next thing is that if you do encounter an aggressive driver, my advice would be to slow down and let that person go by you. Let them forget about you, and you can forget about them just as quickly. Use your horn sparingly. That's the next one. So if horns are only meant for emergency situations, it's probably not meant to irritate somebody else. So So you definitely don't want to set somebody else off. You never know what that person's reaction may be. If you've done something wrong and you acknowledge you did something wrong, I would advise you to apologize. As long as you didn't cause an accident, everything should be fine, and everyone can go home to their families, and no more issues, and it's basically all over. Don't be a competitive driver. A lot of racing going on the freeways, or cutting people off. Don't be competitive. Don't try to be dominant on the road. Just follow the laws of Arizona, and you'll be just fine. And then last thing is, just don't get angry. If someone else is already yelling at you, it can be easy to react to them, but the person who plays it cool is generally the person who comes out of that situation alive or unharmed.
Well, anything can happen at any time. I think it's a good idea to put the phone number in your phone now that everybody can do stuff like that, just in case. The number to call at 602-999-9999. Again, these are done on contingency basis. Is that a correct word?
That's right.
And again, you get a free consultation, and you can check them out. It is zaneslaw.com. They have 2 offices in Tucson and then right here in Phoenix. And we've got our lines open here, and I believe that everybody should have this book too, because maybe you do have a small little accident that something can be taken care of that you can handle yourself. So the book is called Winning Your Personal Injury Case. Doug Zane wrote the book, and it's learning how to take care of some of these things on your own. The number to call here, 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. I'm going to let you keep on calling for the next 5 or so minutes, and check them out and put this number in your phone, because anything can happen at any time. The number again at 602-999-9999. What are your final words?
Final words is, everyone have a safe weekend. Give us a call, and we'll definitely help you out.
And if something happens, give them a call. That's 602-999-9999. They do free consultations, and it's zaneslaw.com. Or call in here. Get this book. I think everyone should have it. It is 602-277-5369.